Martin living in a third world country, he gets better treatment with his internet than you do in Austria.
I did get that in Croatia because I had a modem that you plug into the phone thingy in the wall, but the one I have here is just connected to the socket and that's it.
Anima, you have to tell them that you need your internet right because you're taking painting lessons via internet.
Yeah, right.
Jesus Christ. Shut the fuck up, Martin. How dare you?
This is how it is today on Pop Culture Minefield. This is how it is.
It's time for a little Funky Friday. From their funky hidden headquarters, your hosts, Keith and Gary. Not Jerry.
This is how it is today on Pop Culture Minefield.
So no Keith today because he's still dealing with stuff and
Black guy stuff.
black guy stuff. And
You're
so
racist
hopefully,
today, Martin. First you insult me
I'm
and now
hoping-
you go black on Keith.
yeah, I know, really. I expect that kind of racism from like Mike, who's also known as the Comic Relief Crusader, because
Yeah, I
he is
should not
just the
skip.
most racist guy I've ever met in my life. The only other more racist person than him is Andy Morrow, but thank God he's not here. Oh shit, he's here.
God fucking blimey.
Let's see. Who else are here?
Hey, Donnie.
Yeah, Sentai Ranger Donnie is here. Throwing out some wisdom. And Andy, of course. Andy sent me a good video earlier. I don't want to talk too much about it because it gets a little political. But you know what? There's a distinct sound difference between an M16 or AR-15 and a fucking M60. And any half idiot can fucking tell the difference. So thanks for sending that video. I needed a chuckle today. Remind me how stupid media people are. Hello, team. Pop Culture Minefield. Hope everyone is well, despite the Netflix series reboot of the Power Rangers being as scrapped as the Skydance Paramount merger.
Oh, that
Lot
that
of-
explains the hashtag in the name. Save the power.
There's
Rangers.
also a reboot or remake coming of Officer and a Gentleman. I like the kid
Oh,
they
my.
cast in it. It's the kid from Fantastic Four, played Reed Richards in the last
Oh.
Fantastic Four film.
Yeah, and
He's in Top Gun Maverick. He's
who's
a good
gonna
actor,
be who's
but
gonna
I don't
be
want to
Donnie?
see it. I don't know. You know,
Look
I don't
who's here earlier. Oh my God. The
Oh
world
my
is coming
God.
to an end.
what the hell?
It's
What are you doing here? Did you lose your
that
job?
Gives me hope. That gives me hope for tomorrow. His wife allows him to be on the computer this time of the day. It gives me hope he might join us tomorrow.
Hey,
Hey, fuck you, Kyle.
I don't believe it. We got to play that early.
Very fun.
Kyle, you want to join us especially if you've ever seen the show or any of the cast. Because even if you've never seen the show, you can at least talk about some of the cast. And the cast includes people like Brent Morin. I think he's hilarious. Ron Funches. I fucking love that guy. He's in so much, he does a lot of voice acting too. So he's not just like on camera. He does a lot of voice acting. He's on the DC animated series Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy show, whatever that fucking show's called. It was good first season. I got bored with it after that. The jokes get like, I don't know, just kind of stupid. Then people, Mike, God, I miss Mikey Sutton. Mikey and I had a conversation one day about it, that people don't understand the difference between parody and canon. And that show is parody. And people were arguing, trying to make it canon. I'm like, are you fucking stupid? No, you can't do. Are you? People are out of their fucking minds. They just don't.
yeah,
fucking
it
understand.
was parody, but the jokes, some of the jokes were so bad.
Season 1, I was fine with the jokes. It was when it got into season 2, I didn't like the Batman jokes very much because I feel like it's disrespecting Batman. And they really disrespected the shit out of Commissioner Gordon with his drunk wife and all that, or having affairs. It's just like, I didn't like that. But I enjoyed the stuff like with the Joker, the villains. I enjoyed all the humor about the villains or with the villains. But season 1 was it. Season 2, I watched it and I got bored. And Keith, I think Keith still enjoys it. I can't stand it. I got tired of it. But this cast, Ron Funches, like I said, Rick Glassman, Chris D'Elia, I fucking love that guy. I follow him on Facebook. I love his family videos and shit that he puts out. They tried to Me Too him and it didn't work, but it hurt his career because that's what they do. They're just trying to hurt the career. They don't care if they can be proven correct. All they care about is getting him canceled. That's right. That's right. Live before he got canceled. You can still see him live. He still does shows, but God damn, these people are assholes. The Me Too people. You got David Flynn in it. He was hilarious.
We have a guest today. Hello, Chief.
Hey,
Steve.
it's
Good afternoon, guys.
now wait a minute. There's no way you ever watched this show.
Well, you know what? I'm sitting at home. My air conditioning's getting replaced today, so I thought, oh, wait a minute. I got a free minute. I can jump in and say hello.
Well, it's good to see you, Patrick. It's
Good to see you guys.
outstanding seeing you. We're talking about a little show that came out in the mid-20 teens called Undateable, and it was a funny show.
Sounds like
well,
my teen
except
years.
for
Yeah.
Martin didn't like it kind of, you know, juvenile humor.
Well, I have only seen 2 clips. I didn't like the clips. Maybe the rest of the show is good.
Yeah, you don't get to judge the show then, Martin.
What I was really impressed with this show, Patrick, was that mid-season 2, they went live on TV, and they started doing an East Coast and a West Coast broadcast live. And so things they would do in the first episode would be slightly different in the second episode. And it led to one of the funniest moments with TV's Scott Foley. Everybody knows who he is. God, he's been on so many good shows. And Scott Foley plays himself on the show. And he is there to help the one kid, the owner of the bar, become better with women, is what he's going to try to teach him.
Yeah.
But then Chris D'Elia's character, Danny Burton, decides to go, well, I don't really think your eyes are all that powerful and all this stuff. And here's that clip. We're gonna have to delete it later. I know that, but I don't care. I'm gonna play this clip.
You're going down.
Thanks, Scott Foley. Oh, by the way, your eyes are good, but they're not that amazing.
Careful, if anyone looks at them for too long, I can make them do stuff.
Oh, turns out you're a little cocky.
Unbutton 2 of those buttons. Now get on your knees.
Yeah.
On your knees.
I don't want to, but...
Get on your knees. Now I want to see good form. I want you to arch your back and keep eye contact with me. And when we're done, you're going to drive me to the airport and return my rental car. Do you understand?
I feel like this wasn't in the script.
Eyes. Attaboy.
No, don't call me attaboy, please. Cut.
He was so unprepared for that.
Clearly.
Because they had already done the East Coast and it went the way it was written in the script. But when they broadcast to Los Angeles, man, Scott Foley just started improvising, and you can tell Scott was like, I don't want to do this.
And he went with it. Also, what I really like about them doing it live in front of an audience was they include the audience. They're not just there and watching, but when the opening music plays, they just go and dance in the middle of their audience. And in the end, too, it's like a big party to begin the episode and to end it. And it's really just amazing.
That show absolutely just slayed me. I couldn't believe how edgy it was. And this leads to, why was it canceled? They had numbers. They had a good audience. The problem was after 2010, we started to see something in network television that any shows that were overly edgy got pushed out.
Yeah, it's not safe.
And in fact, this show, no, wait, it was the other show she was on. Bianca Kajlich, that was in that. She was also on a little show called Rules of Engagement. And Rules of Engagement was the replacement for the show Shit My Dad Says with William Shatner, which was a hilarious fucking show. But and you could tell by the fucking live audience recording that it was funny because the audience was losing their shit. Just like in those clips I have, you can hear the live audience fucking cracking up laughing. But these shows get pushed out. And the reason why is because people within the business side of these studios, these networks, are not liking the edginess of the humor. They don't want to promote that. And so they would kill these shows. Yeah. They killed off so many shows. Sunny in Philadelphia is saved because of what network it was on. It got pushed to another network. It was on FX, and then it got pushed to FXX because that was where all the edgy humor was going to be pushed. But Fox doesn't have a problem with it. Who does have a problem with it is CBS, ABC, and NBC. All of them don't like edgy comedy.
Well, stuff that makes them uncomfortable. Stuff that makes them uncomfortable. I mean,
if you're a white guy in a show with black people, you have to be apologetic for being a white guy. Yeah. In the character. They did that with that show Neighbors or whatever that is. I tried watching it and I was just insulted by the lack of intelligence in the writing on that show. And people go, oh, it's so funny. No, it's not. Undateable is fucking hilarious. And this show had everything. I mean, it hit all the check boxes, had people of different races, genders, had a homosexual character, main homosexual character who was funny as fuck.
Oh,
and even about being gay was hilarious. What he would go, the things he would say and do just fucking cracked me up. I'm like, this is so well written. But the networks don't want shows like this, even though they'll bring numbers, they'll get them an audience. What they care about is point. It's not on point. It's not our point.
Yeah, it's not edgy. I mean, when I used to work the Strip, we'd go to the Comedy Store, right? And you had all these edgy comedians there. You remember Sam Kinison, right? Man, that guy was outrageous. And he was on stage numerous times, and one of my partners was his buddy. So we'd go in there and end up on stage and drink with him afterwards, which I can talk about now because the statute of limitations is passed. But him and Robin Williams, they'd do these after-hour clubs, and I was working with this guy, and he knew them all. So we'd go have a beer with them after they did their shows. Dude. Yeah, and they were pretty outrageous on stage. But now you can't get away with that kind of comedy. Remember Robin Williams? You can
in some places, but the college circuit, you can't do that kind of comedy because everybody gets butt offended.
And that was the lifeblood of these comedians. That's where they would try out their material. That's that they'd make some money, not a ton of money on that college circuit, but they would try out new stuff. And now you can't go on there because you get protested. It's lunacy what's going on. But,
Jerry Seinfeld said it. You can't do comedy on campuses anymore, and it's true and it's sad. It's tragic. That used to be where people were progressive thinkers.
Yeah,
I don't like progressivism. But I like progressive thinkers. I find them interesting. We don't have that anymore. They're all retracting into some bizarre tortoiseshell that just makes no sense.
Well, if I'll get political here. If you ever want to check out the Heterodox Academy, and it's this professor from Georgetown, and he talks about how universities stop teaching people how to think and start teaching them what to think. Which is where we're at, and he's on the left, and he's pushing back, and he created this thing called the Heterodox Academy, and professors are joining, and they're trying to bring back the thought of the empirical method, the scientific method, and focused on thinking instead of what they should think. And I think this whole anti-Semitism on college campuses is beginning to shine a light on it. I mean, I did a show on my other platform, and it's been well received, but. Yeah. So unfortunately,
Yeah,
I just wanted to drop in and say
ridiculous.
hi to you guys and hello to
I
your
appreciate it,
audience.
buddy.
And, Tuesday I'll be doing the movie Standoff at Sparrow Creek. I'm going to send the notes off to Martin here.
Now, I
in a
don't
couple
know
hours.
this movie. What is this about?
It's a little different. It's I looked for kind of quirky movies to do, and it's really about these militia guys who get set up by the police, thinking that they mock an attack on the police, and they put it out over the radio. And these guys, it's based in the 90s, and so these guys muster together this militia, and it's kind of a COINTEL operation on them, is what it is, by the authorities. And
What's the name of it again?
It's the name of the Standoff at Sparrow Creek. And so it's kind of, they do a COINTEL operation on them, basically, is what it is. Disrupt them and eventually take them out.
What year did it come out?
2018.
2018.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm going to find this movie. I'm going to check it out this weekend.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's not a classic, but it does give us a chance to talk about different themes in the movies. And this one, it's really all based in a warehouse mostly. So it's not a lot of it's people on people, which makes it a little different movie, than what we are used to seeing, where it's the scene or the place that's where it's happening, and it's just one-on-one, and gives me a chance to talk. We'll talk a little bit about how the FBI operates to bust up far right, far left organizations, and that's what the COINTELPRO come in, and what's the reality of the far right? Just how broad are they compared to the far left? So we'll get a chance to talk about some of that stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. It'll be fun for Tuesday. So I'm working on trying to get Larry Wilcox friended me on. I
got his phone number. I can give it to you if you want it.
Yeah, has he ever been on your show or no?
No, we met
he
him
fought in the Tet Offensive. You know that? Did you look at his background?
Yes. Yeah. I told him who I work for, and that I work for Dale Dye. And he was like, "Oh, that's so cool!" And he gave me his fucking number, and I have photos of him and my daughter and me hanging out. And I've tried calling and left messages, and just nothing ever happened.
Well, we'll see. I mean,
I'll text it to you in a private chat here. I'm getting it right now.
He watched my show Briefing with the Chief, where I did I read a book, Criminal Injustice, and I got a fellow from the Manhattan Institute on it. Ended up being a really good show. It's doing well on the KGRA platform, and he liked the show. He says, "Hey, this is good show," whatever. And so sent a note to him, "Hey, well, if you ever want to send him a link to one of my shows, if you ever want to come on my Pop Culture Minefield show." But
I'm going to cover up the phone number, but there it is. There's my contact info for Larry Wilcox.
Okay.
And I got depressed because earlier I was like going through my phone numbers, and I started looking, and I've got like all these celebrities who are now dead in my phone. Right. I'm like, I don't want to delete them. I'm like, I really love knowing them. All right, here you go. I'm going to put the number in.
Put it in there.
It's in the private chat. I also his email too, if you want that. 746.
Well, I'll just text him, see if he's interested. If he's not, he doesn't have to respond. It's fine. I don't want to be a
Which
stalker.
is what happened with me. He just didn't respond, and I'm not a stalker, so I just stopped trying to get a hold of him. And I love his email here. There.
He's going to be at an event in Long Beach here pretty soon, so looks like him and Punch go around to the Comic-Cons and that kind of stuff. So
they get along for the most part, but he's not. I can still tell the last time I talked to him, he was still not fond of Estrada.
Oh, Puncharello.
Oh no,
Punch, good old Punch. Because Punch tried to get him fired.
Oh, really?
He ended up off the show for a brief period and got replaced by the Bruce Jenner-looking guy, even though Bruce Jenner was also on the show. So there you go. That's his email and his phone number. So
all right.
Absolutely get a hold of him. And I would love, because if you get him on, I will join you and go, I also went to my other channel for the military stuff.
I will, if I get somebody that I think will be great for your show, I'll get you on. I'll
because I'm so glad I met, I just got his name.
Kevin Major.
Yeah, Kevin Major Howard. My God, I love that guy. I love that guy. I loved him before I met him, and I owe that to you for meeting him. I'm like, that guy's fucking great.
Yeah, he was going to come on my show, but he landed a gig doing World Series of Poker. So I think.
He's a big poker player. How'd that go?
So, well, I wasn't able to get him on because he said, "Oh, I'm going to be busy for the next 7 weeks for the World Series." I don't know if he's announcing or if he's playing or what, but well, I imagine if it's a 7-week gig, he's probably announcing. So he's probably calling it for whatever TV or whatever.
Yeah, if it's a gig, it sounds like more of a gig than playing.
Yeah, like he's working. Yeah, so, but good for him. He's a good guy, and when I have him on next, as I said, I'll wait. I was going to put him on for the Deadpool, but he couldn't do that, so I'll have somebody else do that. Clint Eastwood's last one, the Deadpool, and somebody who was friends with. Is it Guns N' Roses that does a lot of their stuff in that movie? I think that's who it is. A deputy who was friends with them is going to be on the show, and we'll talk about their contribution to the Deadpool. So, but anyways, guys, hey, have a great Friday and have a good show.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Patrick. And everybody, if you've not watched him on Tuesdays, you should be watching him. The Chief, Morning Coffee with the Chief, the only show that kept the name Morning Coffee. And I'm kind of glad because I created that and I'm like, man, I love that whole Morning Coffee thing. And I took it away because Military Monday is the name of my show. But if you want to change the name of your show, you let me know.
No, I'm okay with it because Morning Coffee with the Chief kind of blends with Briefing with the Chief, which is what I do elsewhere.
On the other, on KGRA.
Yeah.
Hold on,
right,
Keith has it too, Gary. It's Morning
Keith
Coffee
has
with
what?
Keith as well. Morning Coffee.
Take care, guys.
All right, Patrick.
Bye.
I'll see you later,
Bye,
sir.
Chief.
Have a good show Tuesday.
Bye, Chief.
Tom Conkle just got a hold of me, so I need to message him real quick. Somebody else want to talk while I'm doing this?
Yeah, well, Anima, what can you give our audience about the show? Synopsis, anything?
Yeah, tell them what the show's about.
It's about people who aren't too good at dating, obviously. What I wanted to say earlier, because you mentioned Brett, the gay guy who is funny as fuck. We meet all of them in the first episode of the first season. And
yeah,
Brett
the only
just
person
come
you
out.
don't meet is the girl love interest for Danny, because they tried 3 females for him and they finally nailed it with the 3rd female. And she's just a cute little thing.
All the other leads, they do all 36 episodes that they are. So in the first episode, we meet Brett, the gay guy, and he has just come out and he's just trying to find out how to be gay, and he's not very good at it. And that's what makes it so funny. And that is why it would never work today, because the alphabet community would get offended having a gay character and he sucks at being gay because he's just trying to piece it together. But it's so much fun. And Shelly, the black dude, he's overweight. He's a nurse. He kind of comes across as semi-gay. Also, funny as fuck because
but
it's
very
so
straight.
incorrect.
He's very straight.
I know,
That's
but he
what
has
makes
the
his
soft
character so
side.
weird.
He has the soft
Very
side that just
sensitive.
comes out all the time.
I like my hugs. Can I give a hug?
The truth hugs. The truth hugs. Where everybody has to speak the truth.
Yeah, when you get hugged by him, it impacts
can't
you
lie.
emotionally and you can't lie. It's like the lasso of truth.
So whenever they have to lie, they just run away from him when he tries to hug them. It's so funny. I love
Oh
it.
yeah, the episode in particular where that came into play is where he had to leave his apartment and move in with his mom, and it's not going well. So Danny lets him stay. Not Danny. I'm sorry.
It is Danny. He lets
the
him stay at the apartment that he shares with what's his name?
Justin. Justin
yeah.
lets him stay.
Justin
Danny's
lives
not
with
happy
Danny.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're roommates, and all of a sudden you got Shelly staying there, played by Ron Funches, and it causes a problem. So Justin does the one thing that he was told not to do, tell anybody. So he tells the entire crew, and they decide to clean out the attic and make up a story that they had a break-in at the bar, and that maybe somebody should stay there. And Danny, of course, is against it. I won't do it. But then when the moment happens and the ball drops, Danny's like, we had a break-in, and everybody's afraid that we need somebody to kind of stay here all the time to make sure the bar is okay. And then he turns and he says, "Are any of you guys available?" And they're like, "No, we're not available." He goes, "Well, how about you, Shell?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, I guess I could do it." So
no, the whole thing is so bad. Justin starts to talk about the break-in, and then he tries to just confirm everything that Justin says, and it's just so bad and so unbelievable. But Shelley
it's a funny scene, and what makes it even better is when Shelley finds out later that this was all set up for him to stay there. He gets angry.
It's so clever how he does it. It's so clever how he does it because he has them lined up and says like, one question: what did the police officer look like?
Yeah,
and that's what takes them away because everybody says something different.
All these different. It was funny, and
they line up the
he gets angry,
not the officer,
and he gets angry about it, and he wants the truth, and everybody's avoiding him, so he starts chasing them to give him hug truths, and that's how he ends up getting more of the truth on what's going on, and he's butthurt by it that that he's being treated with charity, and then they're like, we would expect you to do the same for us, kind of thing.
And it's not charity, it's being friends.
It's not charity, it's being a good friend. And so finally he's like, okay, if we're going to approach it that way, very good. And by the way, thank you, D-Bud Martin, for saying that to the Chief. We love the Chief, man. He's a good part of this channel. Because of, I don't know why, he just isn't in our conversations every day. Like, all of us are talking all the time. The Chief, but when he jumps in, I get excited about it. I'm like, yeah, it's the Chief. I think it's fun. I love the Chief. I love what he does for the channel. And it's basically the same thing that I do with Military Mondays, talking about films and their impacts, and how he as a police officer sees these films. And that's what I always wanted to do with Military Monday. And that's why it is what it is. And by the way, I hope everybody got to see our interview on Wednesday with Julia Dye and John Del Vecchio. That was a good interview. That went really well.
Yes,
and I wasn't expecting to go very well because I had just been hit with the news of losing our good friend Clobbery, or as you call him, Clobby, Mike Alonso. I was friends with him on Facebook too, and we'd talk. I just fucking love that guy. I really do, and it felt good because nobody invited me to the to that live event, and I thought that's really weird because we were good friends, But I'm like, whatever. It's the big wigs. I don't care. I'm not going to get butthurt over stupid shit like that. Everybody knows how I feel, and Patrick has invited me to join them on this weekend for one of their live streams about Clobbery. And yes, I'm always going to call him Clobbery, not Clobby, because that's what I call him.
Did you come up with that nickname?
It's because on another stream, when I say idiot, somebody like me, on another stream, their stream, accidentally said Clobbery. And I thought it was funny as fuck. So I said, hey, Clob, from this day forward, that's all I'm going to call you. You're Clobbery. It's like clobbing, being somebody who clobbers things and also slobbers. So you're Clobbery. And that's when he started calling me this, Jagary. And Don likes to think he came up with that, but no, the person who came up with that nickname for me is none other than Clobbery. And it breaks my heart because we've known each other for 4.5 years, but we just never really did anything together. And then finally we hung out and we had one of those stepbrother moments where at the end of the show, did we just become best friends?
Wasn't that on Toxic Tuesday?
Going, we could have been best friends this whole time. And it just, I think it was Toxic Tuesday. We had such a good time, And it was like, oh my God, it's Snow, the same thing. Snow and I have known each other for years. Never really hung out. We hung out one time where it's just him and me.
What you do now on Loki's show?
Moment. Another Step Brothers moment. Yeah, but that wasn't what I went on his show.
Yeah.
And we actually did a one-on-one talking. It's like, oh my God, I fell in love with him as a person right then and there. I love Snow, man. Snow's a good dude. We're a lot alike. And same thing with Clob. We're very good friends and we're very much alike. Yeah, I'm the same way. I was kind of at first I thought, why isn't somebody inviting me? I'm like, oh well, they wanted to get all the big wigs on there, and they did their thing. My thing is, I won't get emotional, and if I get emotional, I just get quiet. And poor Tom. God, man, I fucking love Tom. Tom like lost it on the show. I heard everybody pretty much break. What? Because I watched it and I hung out in the chat for about an hour, and then I get exhausted. And speaking of that, it's like I was worn out after that show, that stream, just watching all that emotion. And oh my God, Shinatsky joins me for a meeting with Tom Conkle last night. And Tom got stuck in traffic, couldn't make it, but he just messaged me that we can just talk this weekend. And Shinatsky just starts fucking blathering the way Shinatsky does. I'm like, dude, I kept telling him, I do not have a lot of energy, dude. I'm worn out. And I was worn out from Clobby's farewell show yesterday. And I'm going to tell you, I couldn't even talk about Mikey Sutton for a while. And I know you guys know that. I was like just quiet about it. And I just couldn't talk about Mikey Sutton. And it took me a whole fucking year. And I finally was able to open up and talk about it. And I've been considering, reintroducing on this show, getting some of the guys over there from Geekosity to come on here and talk. But I got to be honest, man, I fucking miss Mikey Sutton on such a level, because I talk to him every day, and it just to have that vacuum. And then, Keith and I lost other good friends last year to Koof. And then this with Clobby and Gil earlier this year. It's like, yeah, exactly, Zach's Gil. Glad we thought at the same time, man. Great minds think alike, buddy. It's just it gets to be too much for me. And because I can't show my emotions in front of people. It's just I was raised philosophically stoic. And so if I feel like I'm getting ready to choke up, I just get really quiet and I keep it to myself and hold it in. I'll let it go later, because that's what Stoics do, is we let it go later. We'll sit down and just fucking cry. And it's gone. What do they say? Giving it to the universe. We have lost some great people. The Admiral, yes. Oh my God, dude. And by the way, hi Loki. I love you, buddy. And I'm going to make a practice of telling my friends how much I love them. I love my friends. And I'm just torn by what happened with Clobbery. Just torn. So we'll be doing a thing this weekend. I'm going to do my best. I'll go off camera if I'm going to get emotional and stop talking. Yeah, I love you too, buddy. So, Doomcock got really emotional. I never expected that. Fucking Doomcock broke. Doomcock broke. I heard him start like getting choked up. It's a thing that we guys have. And we're embarrassed of it, but it is what it is. Got to let your friends. I had a buddy of mine one time. I'll say his name. I love him. Ricky Checker. He's from the East End of London. So he's got a really thick accent. When he comes over here, I'm his translator, because nobody go to a restaurant or a bar. They don't know what the fuck he's saying. I have to translate what he wants. And he sat down in my fucking living room. We got hammered. We drank everything we could get our hands on. This is back when I used to drink really heavy. And we drank tons of Guinness that night and went out, and everything was closed. It's Lebanon, Missouri, where they close liquor stores at 11 o'clock or some shit. And so all I had in my fridge was margarita. And so we drank margaritas the rest of the night. Got fucking hammered. And he opened up to me about what happened to him in the war. He was in the Falklands. And he just started crying in my living room, telling me everything that happened. And I just sat there quietly, and I would just every once in a while confirm with him by touching his leg or his hand. Tell him, no, man, I'm right here. Just keep talking. And this isn't, you're not going to die. You're not going to fucking die by doing this. Yeah. Yeah, I skipped that one. I just couldn't handle it. And I'm one of those people that just I don't handle things. I just avoid. I do avoid. If somebody dies, I avoid talking about them. And I mean, my own dad's funeral. I mean, I'm the last person who should be talking at my dad's funeral. You don't want that, because I was very critical of my dad. I loved him deeply, but very critical of him. Then that moment came, and I stood up there and I started talking about things and the way he was, and I felt it was actually a very positive thing. But then I got 3/4 of the way through, and I said, "My dad" was the word I used. Or the 2 words I threw together, "my dad," and that was it. I broke. And one of my oldest friends in the world, she was a director. She directed me in several plays. She had to come up and get me because I just became a fucking mess.
Man, I told you, to this day, I have no idea how all my siblings were able to stand up there and say something nice or read a story or something at my mom's. It wasn't a funeral, it was a party to say goodbye. But I knew I'm not going to be able to do that. And I helped my sisters prepare that stuff the evening before. But when it happened, I was sitting next to my dad, and if he hadn't, he helped me, I would have just slumped off that bench. I was broken. I have no idea how people can do that. Walk up there at funerals and talk.
And by the way, I need to remind everybody down at the bottom there, the link is it at the top of the chat, Martin?
No.
Can you put it at the top of the chat, or do I need to do that?
You need to do that, and then you need to teach me how to do that.
Oh, it's easy because you have access. Let's see, where is it? There it is. I need to hide it for a second, and I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to copy this information, and then copy.
You can teach me after the show, Gary. Get me logged in on YouTube finally and teach me how to do stuff like that.
There it is. So I'm going to go up into the chat real quick, guys, and I'm going to add. So I'm going to shut my camera off because it'll go nuts when I go in to start playing the video in the background. It just it's goofy.
Oh, Tim picked up Rocket Kitty in my background. That's right.
All right, there we go. I'm going to what you do is you put the comments in the chat, hit enter, and then you got 3 dots on the left side of it, on the right side of it. You click those 3 dots and it says pin message. And that's what you do. So now
I don't have that line of pin message that did not appear for me. I click the 3 dots and only get channel.
You need to log in on my account then. We need to get you logged in on my account on YouTube so you can do that shit. It'll give you better access and management of things. So there we go. Yeah, and honey, you can't miss the sound of Rocket Kitty. I heard it. It's ridiculous. That cat is so fucking loud. So let's get back to the show.
She's right behind me.
Loki, Zach, I would love it if both you guys came on because we could talk some more. For right now, I'm going to get back into this show. I laughed so hard at that clip, and I want to show it again where Scott Foley plays himself, a version of himself on the show, and then he just fucking starts ordering Danny around with his eyes. That is a messed up scene. But let's get into this. This is clip 1 from episode 1. I do believe this is episode 1. No. This is one of the other episodes.
I need to tell you something, and I don't want you to freak out, okay?
What is it?
I'm not sure how to say this, but you're wearing a turtleneck.
That looks like it's season 2.
Oh my god, that just fucking cracks me up. Little shit like that.
Why with him on that? Turtleneck sucks.
I like turtlenecks.
I have worn turtlenecks. In fact, I've done something worse than a turtleneck. When I was a kid, my dad made me wear a dickie, which is a fake turtleneck. It's a faux turtleneck that you put under a shirt. It's just that area right here and the collar, and that's all it is. And I fucking hated that. I'm like, it's so, because some people don't want to wear a fucking turtleneck because it gets hot.
I've only been here for a couple of weeks, but I feel like I'm really getting to know you guys. Like, Justin, you are an incredible boss and a great dancer.
Oh, please.
Oh my god. Thank you, Radioactive.
Radioactive, you're awesome.
Oh man, Radioactive has done this before. It is so great. You're so kind doing it for memberships. We love you, man.
We need a
I'm Radioactive. I need to get that clip just for that verse. I'm going to do that real quick while we're sitting here. I'm going to get that clip. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get that clip. What was the name of that band that did that?
I do not know, but
me neither.
Thank
But
you, video.
yes, for Radioactive, I have this one for you.
Nerd. It's called The Firm. The Firm is the one that did the song. And they got kind of shitty. Now, look, I'm not a Jimi Hendrix fan. Yes, great guitarist, but I don't like him because he statutory back in the 60s, going into the 70s. And he held a girl underage captive in his house until she turned legal, and then he broke up with her. True story. Go look it up. Yeah, The Firm. Thank you, Radioactive. So yeah, that was messed up. And once I learned that, I was like, well, Imagine Dragons, I think, did a version of it.
Yeah, the one that I know is the one from Imagine Dragons, but I don't think it's even the same song.
I mean, it's
It might
always a
not
good
be.
idea
I just
to
know they did a
separate
song
the art from the
Radioactive.
artist, but sometimes they fuck up so badly. You just
Well, I
can't
do
enjoy
because
the
I
art
still
anymore.
listen to his music. I just don't like him as a person. I don't like Elton John as a person. Love his music.
Nah, he's a great songwriter.
I was not surprised to find out that he couldn't write lyrics for the crap.
Yeah.
All the lyrics were, his partner. I forgot his name.
But the music is his, right? And
my
that's
God.
good.
Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay. So they didn't do a cover. It's just their song. So I'm trying to download it right now. I'm having some trouble. It might be because I'm on camera. Let me shut off my camera. Maybe.
Yep.
Our diva needs his greeting. I'm surprised he hasn't started pitching in chat.
Hendrix did what? No, I wasn't talking about Jimi Hendrix. I was talking about the dude from Led Zepp, Jimmy Page.
Oh.
Hang in there, Tim. We're on it.
DJ Play Nice was asking if that's what I was talking about. No. Jimmy Page. Go look that up. Go do this search. Go to Google, type in Jimmy Page, underage girl, hostage. I guarantee you'll get the story. Yeah, Jimmy Page did it. Absolutely did it. She was a fan, and he betted her, and she was under 17, and then he brought her home to the mansion and wouldn't let her leave. He stayed there until she turned 18, and when she turned 18, he broke up with her, kicked her out.
I still don't get how he got away with it. Money, I guess.
don't know, man. I mean, they fucking tried to put, Paul McCartney in jail for weed. This guy held a whole human being hostage in his house. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but weed is worth, right? Jesus.
That's the guy. Thank you, D-Bud. Bernie Taupin, man. He's the wordsmith. I love his lyrics. And how those two work together with, Elton John and Bernie. Bernie will write this lyrics. And they put an album out where a bunch of artists celebrated the music of Bernie Taupin and Elton John called Two Rooms. And I bought that album. It's a great fucking album. And they talked about how the two of them would sit in separate rooms. They did a documentary about it. That sit in separate rooms when they were doing music. He would be in the other room writing and lyrics, and Elton would be in the other room putting music to it. And you look at it, it's like Rocket Man in particular. It's one of those songs that's like the music and the lyrics are bonded together in a way that you couldn't imagine any other song, variation of that song. It had to sound just like that. Benny and the Jets, the same thing. Like the whole idea of making it sound like they're doing a live show at the beginning. Just brilliant fucking recording ideas. So, yeah, I can go on and on about Elton John because he was a big influence on me in my own music, even though I think he's a complete asshole in real life. But I love how he did his music. He played the piano. And when I started learning piano, I watched him one time to see how he did grace notes. And I'm like, I can do that. And that's how I learned how to play grace notes on piano, by watching Elton John play. Two completely different songs at the same time. There, I found it. Download. I'm downloading it. It finally started downloading. So let's get back to the show. What was the ad on the pop-ups? Yeah, I didn't do this one yet.
I've only been here for a couple of weeks, but I feel like I'm really getting to know you guys.
We did do that one.
Hey man. You think I'm too scared to take the job, huh? Well, guess what? I'm gonna make you eat your words.
I got Danny that interview today.
And she's been helping me work on my, how do you pronounce it? Resume?
Resume.
It's like Gary trying to pronounce French words.
I'm not saying anything.
Coward.
It's 2 hours until dinner with Lauren's dad, which means...
I'm trying to play another video here.
It's 2 hours until dinner with Lauren's dad, which means T-minus 2 hours and 20 minutes until he starts calling me son.
Followed by of a bitch.
Son, followed by of a bitch. Oh my God, undateable. So let's see.
And she walks over, Take on Me starts playing. I sing along casually, but hitting the high notes because I can.
And hell yes.
And he's not delusional. The fact is, he can sing. He can sing and he can dance. It's funny.
Well, they both can.
And he looks like a waxy little toady guy. He's not, Chris makes fun of him all the time for the way he looks.
And I go in for the kiss. Right then, I pull away, get myself a beer, walk out the door, letting her know that she can't have a guy like me.
I love it when he says, like, when do you actually have sex in this fantasy? When? That's all he's talking about.
By the way,
other things. You too, DJ Play Nice. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you stopping in.
I'd like to say hello to our newest member, Lee Anthony Davis. He joined us yesterday during Kids Show.
Hey, Lee.
Good to have you.
We're trying
no, D-Bud. No, he can't.
For Fridays.
Come on, Gary.
Yeah, I can.
You can do it.
I can pronounce it, just not the way you guys like.
Question it.
It would be Port Arriere.
Ouch.
Is how I pronounce it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, I'm an American. I don't fucking work my tongue around vowels that you guys say fucked up over there. You guys use fucked up vowels over there.
You are
look at it and go,
saying,
no, that's okay. We're good.
dude, my vowels have only one sound each.
I'm going to tell you something. Steve Martin said it best. He said, to sound like you know how to speak French, you have to be able to sound like you're choking to death. Leading to the joke, somebody save that man. He's speaking French. Yeah.
When do you have sex in this fantasy?
I'm sorry, Fonzie. We don't all have your confidence with women.
Fonzie. The Fonzie reference was like one of my favorites. And this is something that's common with shows written by nerds, where you'll get little lines like that. They do it like crazy on news radio. That Star Wars references, Star Trek references. Yeah. And of course, then they'll make fun of themselves when he says something that's actually from like a dramatic film. And Beth looks at Dave and goes, I'm not into that whole Star Wars thing, Dave, and walks away from it. Clearly, it wasn't a line from Star Trek or Star Wars.
To Beth, everything nerdy is Star Wars.
Yeah.
Excuse me, you think I just came out of my mom's womb just crushing ass?
And the peace symbol back in his mom's vagina. That was great.
Well, you came out with a pencil in your hand, Gary. That must have hurt too.
I know, my mom said that, and I'm just like, when she said it, I'm like, well, that must have hurt. Must have been painful. He came out of the womb with a pencil in his hand. I'm like, Mom, ow. Let's see, I'm deleting some of these videos now. So here's the following. This is all from first episode. First fucking episode just nailed it with these characters.
Are you aware of how douchey you sound?
Pew, 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 pew. Negative thoughts just bounce right off me, bro.
Just bounce right off.
He keeps doing that throughout the series, though.
The whole ping, ping, ping.
Bouncing it off, yeah.
When he gets criticized.
Yeah. Everybody.
Oh, Justin, you need me.
Words cannot express how strongly I disagree with that statement.
Look, I get it. You know, you're scared and change is hard, baby bird, but I'm going to help you mend those broken wings.
That was the moment when he said baby bird. I fucking loved him calling him that baby bird. And he calls him that through the entire series, baby bird.
We were wondering yesterday, we decided let's watch some like best of episodes and then
like when did that start?
Yeah, when did it start? Then yeah, let's watch the first one, and there it is. Boom, 7.5 minutes in, he calls him baby bird right away. As soon as he moves in with him.
And here's another great clip. I love this whole scene. I wish I could just show you the whole scene all at once, but again, they're going to claim us on the other one. So, but it's his response. The whole buildup, because this is comedy written with the and then principle, which is this happened and then this happened and then this happened, and so this is how this comedy is written. So this is the build up to the final and then moment. And hi, Penny. Hope you're having a good week.
I'm gonna be the father bird and just feed you knowledge.
I think I made a similar noise when Gary showed me that episode the first time. I think I sounded like Justin. That's what I do.
He's doing like a parent bird vomiting knowledge into his mouth. It's so gross. And again with the deflection thing here, this is the buildup. That was about a 2-minute scene all in all, and it just had this great buildup to that moment there, and then this is the finale of that scene.
Consider this your acceptance speech to Danny Burton University. DBU.
You're insane.
Pew, 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 pew.
Your criticism is blocked. Let's see, what is this? Hello, my friend.
Okay, now I'm worried.
I don't know who it is. I had to mute the phone. Hello, my friends. We will be along in a minute, and I have asked them to subscribe to your channel. Well, thank you, Leah. It's very kind of you. Thank you very
Bring
much.
your friends. That's cool. Thanks.
Outstanding. Do you stream, Lee? If you do, let me know. I'd like to check out your channel.
It sounds like that's a stream and they are going to raid us. Because YouTube can do that too, not just Twitch, which is cool.
So
Penny's been shopping.
Oh yeah.
So who all did we get here today in the chat? We got Andy, Sentai Ranger Donnie, Zax, of course. I'm hoping he'll be able to join us. Radioactive, D Bud Martin, Tim, Loki, DJ Play Nice, and Penny. So hope everybody's having a good Friday. So we're talking about this show here, and I'm a big fan of it. Broke my heart when it got canceled because they did something a lot of shows are afraid to do. They went live, and they had live music on the show too. They had bands open the show and then close the show.
They didn't just do a show; they had a party, and it's so great to watch.
Yep. I think the only mistake they made in that final season was breaking the fourth wall too often. And I think that may have hurt the show when they did that.
They really
Because I love the inside jokes because, you know, he was with, what's her name, Whitney Cummings on another show. Chris, whatever his last name is. He was on a previous show with her. And they did two jokes on the show about it. And the second joke was, do you have any regrets, Danny? He says, yeah, I really should have slept with Whitney when he was on the show. So it's a joke within the show. It's weird. Thanks for telling me about the channel. Hello, Pop Culture. Aaron, it is very kind of you to drop in. Glad you did. Please feel free to share any thoughts, especially when we're talking about this. Of course, we were talking for a little bit there for almost 10 minutes, 15 minutes talking about our dear friend Clobby dying. And it was a huge fucking shock. Huge shock. And, you know, we were getting some misinformation on what had happened. I got told what happened. And as a former paramedic, I put everything together in my head how the events went. And I'm like, this is bad. And I talked directly with Pat S. If you guys don't know who that is, he works with Mexican Iron Man, and he's a close dear friend of mine. And he was the one keeping me abreast. He let me know that Loki had gone down to see Claude before he passed. But you know, I just look at this as I'm hoping that it was peaceful, and there was no pain for him. And I'm glad to have had Clobby in my life. I mean, I've known him for 4.5 years, but didn't really become friends with him until this year, where we just finally sat down and talked. And it was like, oh my God, we are friends. It's like we have so many similar ideas about things. And man. And he really supported me on my book, my graphic novel. Just thank you so much for having been a good friend, Clobby. And I'm going to miss that guy. Yes, Pop Culture Minefield is your oasis away from all the negativity of so many channels. And we know they're out there. We try to find things to talk productively about. Even when we're critical, we try to be productive. Keith and I both try very hard to be creative and productive in how we... No, it was instantaneous, D-Bud. It was. I'm serious. I think we were about 2 minutes into the conversation when I realized, oh my God, I fucking love this guy, and it just breaks my fucking heart. Him, Gil, and the Admiral and fucking Mike Sutton, just, I don't know. It left me stupefied and not sure what I wanted to do anymore. I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue doing these streams. But the fact is, and this is why if I know that those of you who followed the channel have seen the change that I made to the channel, which is I want to talk about good stuff. I want to talk about things in a positive way, because even I get caught up in all this negativity. People go, I said yesterday that for those of you, and I posted this, some of you may have read it on Twitter. I said, for those of you who keep watching Star Wars, hoping it's going to get better.
I'm going to say 2 words to you right now. I want you to listen to them very, very carefully. We find most people can remember them. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, here they are. Stop it!
And that's my advice to people. Stop watching it. Stop caring. I stopped giving a shit. I just don't care. People tell these things to me, and it's just like, I'm like Danny in the show. Ping, 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 ping. I just don't care. I don't care. It's like, well, what do you think about Dave Filoni? I said, Dave Filoni can't do anything right now. This bad measure. The only good thing I've got to say coming on right now that kind of makes me happy is that the judge let Gina Carano's lawsuit move forward. She's suing Disney. And what does that mean? What's the good news on that? Because of the fact that she's suing, that the lawyers will request all pertinent information be released. That means all those emails, private emails, they thought were private, are going to be brought out. And if they destroyed them, there's going to be hell to pay, because they're going to want a paper trail showing why she was fired. And so, and it's called discovery, by the way, in the law term in the lawese language, it's called discovery. And when that stuff comes out, you thought the Sony hack was bad? Wait till you see the shit that got Gina Carano fired be exposed. You stop it. You stop it, awesome one. Yeah, I'm not going to give him my money. The word just came out that the showrunner for The Boys said that, if you don't like woke, don't watch our show. I'm like, okay. I ended my subscription to Prime, so I don't have a problem with that. I have no interest.
I still want to
watching.
check it out.
First 2 seasons I enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I don't care where they're going now. I don't care. And I don't have something against old school woke, because Keith and I are old school woke. We're progressive minded people, very forward thinking. We believe in equality. I believe that if a woman can do the job, she should be allowed to do the job. If she can't do the job, then if they don't want to do the job, but if they want to try to do the job, they should be allowed to let them try. Equality is what it's all about for me. Alan Seymour says, hello, Lee. I got here as fast as possible on your request to join this channel, and I have subscribed. Hello, Pop Culture. It's very much my pleasure to meet you, Alan. I'm so glad you joined.
Hi, Alan.
I'm trying to see what your avatar is. It's fantasy art of some kind.
Yes, it's an angel holding a light orb, I think. Remember, I can see too well.
Oh my God, another Zionist.
Yeah. It's nice to have so many new people popping.
And we're banned.
We're banned. We have I haven't seen him in a while. He's always on my Twitter page, our Muslim uncle. He's always on my Twitter page liking shit that I say, spreading my word.
He hasn't been in chat for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's not been in chat.
What do you mean?
I miss him.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. He's just shitting on me.
As long as he's shitting on you and not on me. By the way, Gary, I
have
know
a good
you don't
sense of humor, so.
You don't like to
You
be
know.
reminded of that, but The Boys, that show is the reason that I came to Pop Culture Minefield in the first place.
Now about The Boys, I have to tell you, I said it from the last episode of the second season. When they opened the show with, if you watch YouTube, you will become a murderer. So I
Oh
said,
yeah, I saw
no.
that.
I quit. I quit at that point.
I continued watching to the end of the season. I enjoyed the show, but
They had problems.
I'm not saying going any further. I mean, they had Watchmen too, and that was a garbage show. I remember recently they said this new movie's coming out, or this new show's coming out, and it's being executively produced by the guy who brought us the Watchmen TV series. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Nope.
that's not a good sign. You act like it is, but it is not. That was a terrible, terribly racist show. And people go, well, it's my kind of racism. It's, what are you fucking saying?
Yeah, right.
You know, that's my kind of
Proud of
racism.
having
I'm
your
good with
kind
that.
of
I'm comfortable with that
racism.
kind of racism. It's like, you just said you're a horrible human being. That's all you thought.
How could you be proud of that?
A horrible human being, and I'm proud of it.
So you're not very good at bragging.
Jerry believes in equality is all. I believe in equality likewise. The golden rule. I believe in treating people the way I want to be treated. Yeah, that's everybody should go about. You know, I'm, you know, because like I told somebody one time. They said, you know, respect is something you gain. It's not something that you just give freely. I said, what you actually are doing is just being polite when you meet people. That's not respect. You show respect when you meet someone. No, I don't know that person. I'm just going to be generally polite when I meet them. As I get to know them, I'll decide whether I'm going to give them respect or just give them the back of my hand or my ass when I turn and just ignore them, which I've done. I'll go, yeah, I'm done with this conversation. I'll just walk away from somebody. I'll go, what a fucking asshole. And I'm like, you're calling me the asshole with what you were talking about. Brought to you by Evil. It's evil. What was that Simpsons? It was the first Halloween special they did, Treehouse of Terror, and the Krusty doll got possessed. That doll, it's evil, evil, I say. Oh, Grandpa, you say that about everything. I know. I just need attention. I fucking laughed at that. It's still the only thing I watch of The Simpsons is the Treehouse of Terror episodes because they still manage not to fuck them up. At least those are still fun. The rest of the show is just garbage crap.
Well,
oh
ever since
God.
they made Homer dumb, it's just not fun to watch.
Well, he's not dumb anymore. With the new showrunner, he's not dumb. But when Sam Simone stepped down as the showrunner, the new showrunner stepped in and took on the rule for Homer that they were going to write him as if he were a dog who was capable of speech.
Yeah, that's when I dropped out and I never went
back. That is literally what they said.
Yep.
And he is what a dog. Homer Simpson brain is a dog brain that learned to talk. And it's like, I'm out. Careful with you saying you'll backside Gary. Let's see what is this. Hello, I just subscribed on your channel and on the request Lee Anthony. He's a great mate, and I'm glad to support your channel. Where are you guys from? Because I use the word mate too, but that's because I lived in England for a while, and I call my friends my mates. Are you from the UK, Australia, New Zealand? Any of the common places where the word mate is used with their friends?
Tell us something about you guys. We like to get to know our chat.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I mean, I would say close to about 40% of our shows is just us interacting with the chat. Because I love doing it. Here's your problem. The doll's been set to evil. I love that joke. It's like, opens back. What was set to evil? Click. There it is. Like, why would you add that as a setting?
Well, I mean, why would they add that setting to you, Gary, that you're set to be a dick?
Yeah.
And it can't be changed. It can't be changed. That's the fucked up thing. That switch is broken.
Yeah, it's sort of like the minute you think I've changed, I'll end up doing something. You go, oh, no, he didn't change. He's still the same. It's like Jason Pankoki said, By the way, he's having to have some tests done today, so I'm hoping he's doing okay. I'm going to check in with him in a bit. We were walking around downtown Champaign, Illinois, right off campus, University of Illinois, and we're just walking around downtown talking, and I don't know what the fuck I said to him. It was just one of my typical quick comebacks. It just shit on him, just completely shit on him, and then I said something nice at the end of it. I said,
imagine that.
Because I can't remember what I said to him, but part of it had to do with the fact that he's a ginger. You might be a soulless ginger, but you know what? You're really good at macrame. Kind of insult. And so he just looked at me and he said these words: when you die, I'm going to make sure your tombstone reads, Gary was a kind and loving bastard.
I'll make sure that's written on it.
I want it written on there.
I know.
Let's see, what is this? That's Gary's problem. His door's been set. Oh shit, that's what. Oh man, I didn't know there was a switch for that. I'll fix it.
No,
I guess that's what they call it.
fixed.
They say switching teams. But where are you guys from? Alan, Lee, all of you, where are you guys from?
Hey, look who's here.
David, too. David,
Boosh, where have you been?
Boosh.
We miss you, dude.
Boosh is Pop Culture Minefield's version of Bigfoot.
Oh, I know what Bush has been doing. He's been feeding little critters to his killer dog. Yeah, that's what he had been doing.
Okay.
That poor. I felt bad. I felt bad for him when he showed that picture of the rabbit and that because I know how he feels, man. I loved my dogs, man, but boy, I tell you, they get a wild hair up their ass about an animal, and I'm trying to rescue that animal from them. Oh my god! Yeah, I've been following. What was it? I've been following.
Karen Reed. Ah, yeah, that is Karen Reed trial.
What is that one about?
Don't know.
Manchester, England. Good football team. Very good, Aaron. Cheers, mate.
Now about Bush, the thing is, have you seen his dog? He's the tiny, cutest little female.
Those things were designed to kill small
critters. And when she kills, she gets so preppy and jumpy and moving her tail. And so, you shouldn't be that glad about that. It's wrong.
Wild hair bush. It's an old turn of phrase. I love that, like turn of phrase. What the fuck does that mean? But it is. It's referred to as a turn of phrase, having a wild hair up your ass.
Whoa, that can be nice.
Though, right?
It's an old American.
Isn't it spelled differently?
What is this? Hold on. She's accused of deleting her. Oh shit. I know that. Yeah, I know the case you're talking about. Yeah, I saw a little bit about that yesterday.
Okay, Alan says that he is from Blackpool.
Blackpool. I've never been to Blackpool.
I haven't only seen it in Top Gear. I like it. Yeah, it's damp, it's rainy, but I like it.
You know, I got to tell you, I spent a year over there, okay? And I tried 3 times to go see the Cliffs of Dover down south. And the weather is so shitty over there in the UK. All 3 times we were fogged in, and it was just, you couldn't see the cliffs. So I never got to see the Cliffs of Dover.
You know, Gary, it's not always foggy, because when it's raining, it's not.
I'm just telling you, those days it was 3 times. And my dad gave up on trying to get me to see him. I'm like, I want to see him. Just didn't happen. Blackpool. Oh, look at some of the shit you got there. You got a little miniature Eiffel Tower looking thing that goes. Blackpool. That's the one of the places they have that cool. I think that's where they shot the Who's movie with Sting. God damn it. What's that movie called? It was the mods versus the punker type situation. The Who movies. I remember this as a teenager when it came out. They don't know how to answer my question at all. Google lost its fucking mind. My question. The Who
Google
movies.
is getting bad.
The Who movies, and it's like trying to figure my grammar out. I know Tommy was considered Pete Townshend's rock opera. And that's what we referred to it as a rock opera. Now it's throwing Dwayne Johnson shit at me. It does not. Oh my God. I'll just ask the albums because the album title is also the name of the movie. Quadrophenia.
Oh.
And Sting is in that. It was like Sting's first role in anything. And he played one of the bikers that runs around on those little motor scooters. Like they're badasses. I'm like, come to America where you run into real bikers. But I loved living in the UK. It was great. I had an addiction was to steak and kidney pies. It was the best thing I ever ate.
You still have that, Gary. You still have it. You keep whining that it's so hard to get where you live.
Oh, Anima was making a joke about the weather being shit. I worked for 8 to noon and spent 4 hours making onion soup. It's phenomenal.
That's how long it takes to do it properly.
French onion soup, I'm assuming, because I love French onion soup.
You cannot rush that. It takes forever to cook down the onions, but then it's just awesome. I'm not from an island. Born and raised in Vienna.
He's messed with you again. He say good day. Good day, mate. Cheers, mate. Good day. Crikey.
It's usually somebody else firing the stupid Australia jokes at me. You know, guys, I'm not kidding.
You think they're stupid. I think they're hilarious.
We have t-shirts for tourists that say no kangaroos in Austria. And yeah, there's this ongoing joke that Salzburg Airport has a terminal for people intending to fly to Australia landing in Austria, which is a joke. It was a PR gag that they did. But it's absolutely known around the world that we did that.
I want to thank Anima for her Don Ecker impression.
What? What the fuck?
She went into a Don Ecker rant there. I just went, oh,
no, come on.
Just gonna listen.
Don injustice. My rants are nothing like his.
He's got the best fucking rants.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you know,
when Kissel, those are the best.
You
rants.
know, at some point you're going to hear them sons of bitches. At some point, them sons of bitches. So,
okay, we have a question.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to it here. So, I would like to ask the panel, which is your favorite Doctor Who, of course, the English way of spelling favorite, and adventure from 1963 to 2017. Also in the comments as well. I will tell you right now, absolutely Tom Baker is my favorite Doctor Who. Always will be. He was my doctor. I grew up watching some of the other doctors. In fact, my first Doctor Who were the movies with Peter Cushing as actually being called Doctor Who. They called him Doctor Who in the movie, which I thought was weird. And it made more sense in the TV series when I came back and watched the episodes from the original season 1 with the Daleks story was great, which is what became the first movie. And then season 2 with the Dalek story became the second movie. Just good stuff. So I love Peter Cushing. And by the way, when I watched Peter Cushing's Doctor Who, I was 4.5, 5 years old. And I remember it. I absolutely remember it. I remember I was so terrified by the Daleks and the way they talk, because in my little mind, I'm like, why are they talking like that? Who talks like that? Stop! And they're going to kill everybody. And so I was hiding behind the sofa. Because here in America, I can't guarantee it's over in the UK, sofas are neutral, safe ground when watching television for kids. You are protected by that wall if you can get behind the sofa. It works. That was my answer. So anybody else want to answer?
Yeah. Okay. I have to explain that. I have to explain why is that. My favorite Doctor is Peter Capaldi. I know he has not the best writing, to put it mildly, but in my opinion, I feel like he physically and with his acting, he embodies how the Doctor should look and feel.
Yep, I agree with you. They went old school with him, and I loved his self-criticism when he kneels down and he sees the reflection in the puddle on the ground. He comments on the angry eyebrows.
Okay, David Martin says Jumper 3. And the episode would be Planet of the Spiders or Pyramids of Mars. Oh, Alan concurs. Jumper 3. Oh. And Bush.
Yeah, the first. My favorite was season 1, and it was just simply called The Daleks. Was the name of the episode, and I love that one. The Daleks freaked me out, man. So season 1, it aired December 21st of 63, and then again in February 64.
Scariest villain? What would you be?
Oh my God, the Weeping Angels.
Yes.
Weeping Angels before they ruined it by going to the planet and fight. That was stupid. They should have left it alone. They're enigmatic. You shouldn't know what they are. I felt like that was part of the horror, is not knowing. Also, I loved what do they call the Whisper? These giant head aliens with no mouths, and they get into your head and you can't see them. You don't notice them. They're always like at the corner of your eye, kind of thing. And these creatures they end up going back to 63 before Kennedy's assassination. I think that's what it was. Or it was Nixon. I can't remember. No, it's during Nixon's administration. They go back in time. And that's with Matt. And that was a good episode. And those were creepy aliens. I think they were called the Whispers, some shit like that.
So, no, the Metal Men. Okay.
Big fan of also the Cybermen.
Cybermen.
They can be really scary, especially in some of the older episodes. And by the way, if you like food porn out there, Boosh McFadden is the guy. He's a chef, and he'll make me hungry, and I'm not even hungry. He'll just show a picture of something that looks so good. He takes snapshots of everything he cooks. Brilliant cook, man. Don't tell him I said that.
Went crazy. That means he's posting in our group chat.
Yeah. He's a true porn artist.
There it is. He announces it.
Dr. Demento. I love Dr. Demento. First time I heard Dr. Demento, I was in my first year of fake, hanging out with my buddy Terrence Hutch Healy. We just called him Hutch. And Terrence Healy, great guy. And we're sitting in his room, just hanging out, chilling, drinking some beer. And he pops on Dr. Demento. I'm like, who's this? And first time I heard was I heard the song Al Yankovic's My Bologna. And I fell in love with Al Yankovic immediately. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Give me more, give me more, give me more.
I think the first Al Yankovic thing that I heard was Beat It.
No, eat it. Eat it. Yeah. Eat it. Eat it. Love Dr. Demento. Peter Davison in the Caves of Androzani. I don't look that one up. That's why. Yeah, I love him, by the way. Really good dude. He's very based. And he's thrown some great criticism at the current Doctor Who. But Pete Davison, I never watched his run. That was when he started when I was like going into college.
He's the doctor who looked like a biker, right?
No, he's the one that wore the hat and had the stalk of celery on his lapel. And I liked him. The one I don't like is the one that came after him, McCoy. I did not. I actually sat down and watched some of the episodes, and I was turned off. I just did not like the writing or anything. And I got to be honest, the guy before Peter Davison, the crazy one, and I feel bad for him because he got screwed. The BBC, it was the first time that they actually picked the costume for the actor. And it was done by the BBC. They picked his costume for him. He didn't want that, but that's what he got. And then they unceremoniously fired him. The BBC did, not the show or the showrunner. Fucking BBC unceremoniously fires him and then asks McCoy to play him in the transformation scene. So when you see the transformation scene, that's McCoy playing himself and playing the kid. I can't think of it. I call him a kid. So I made. Oh God, I can't talk about food right now. I'm so fucking hungry. Let's see. The Cyberman. What is this? I hit. It didn't show up. There it is. That's what I was looking at. It was this one. You know what? Especially that first time you meet them, and they're asleep, and then these explorers accidentally wake them up. That episode scared the shit out of me. That whole run.
Why are we up here?
What are you showing? I can't see anything.
I don't know. I'm not showing anything.
Weird. I would like to ask the panel which was your Doctor of the Adventure. Okay, we got that one. Tomb of the Samurais. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about too. I agree with you. That episode scared the shit out of me. It's very well done. I think that was a 3-episode storyline. And I kind of liked it because, today they make the episodes 45 to 50 minutes. But back when we were young, they made 20-minute episodes. And there would be like 3, maybe 4 episodes. There would be a story arc. And I love that. Yeah, I wouldn't have, I think I can tell you who the worst doctor is, was when they decided to make it female, and she walked around with her mouth open all the time like she was a fish.
Yeah.
Just bizarre. Honestly, walking around with her mouth open, it was really weird. I tried. I watched the whole first season with her, and there was like one really solid episode and one that was kind of okay. The rest of it was just crap. I even got mad at an episode with, I think it was Peter Capaldi. Look, man, Doctor Who, like Star Trek, is supposed to be science fiction. Billy Piper was awesome.
Yeah. In more than one way.
And by the way, my third favorite Doctor, first favorite is Tom Baker. Second favorite is Peter. And I think his name, the guy that we don't like anymore because he's got woke, that took over the series for a few years in the 2000s. Scottish guy. Spitting the fucking heathen.
I don't know. I'm trying to. I don't put much effort in remembering his name.
And they're pushing Google is pushing the shit out of the new Doctor
David
Who.
Tennant, right? Yes.
Yeah, David Tennant.
Thank you,
he's
David.
my second favorite, and my third favorite is Chris Eccleston, because they would not have a new series if not for him. He sold that show, and he was so good.
Chris
and
is my
I
second.
got pissed, and you knew there were going to be problems when it finally came to light why he left, because the BBC and the producers tried to spin this story, and it's not what happened. What happened was they lied to him. They outright lied to him. He demanded they follow through with what he was promised, and they refused, and he left. But yes, David Tennant is my second favorite. My third favorite is Chris Eccleston.
My second favorite is Chris Eccleston, and my third one, John Hurt.
John was really good, but that was supposed to be Eccleston. But they couldn't. The damage had been done by the showrunner. He had done so much damage. That's why when everything went south, I said, when we were talking on the show, I said, with what he did to Chris Eccleston, man, I wouldn't trust him as the new showrunner again. He's running the new show. And look what happened. He went right along with it, man. All in. Sadly, about one season of Lady Who Unsealed It. Look, that first season had 2 episodes in it. One that was good and one that was kind of good. The rest were crap. The spider one was stupid. It was insulting. And the one thing you shouldn't do with Doctor Who is make episodes that are insulting.
Well, that's modern entertainment for you. We make shows and movies to point our finger to the audience face.
What I would like to do is maybe next week I could try doing this. What do you guys think? Doing my personal, you guys do your top 10 list, best Doctor Who episodes of all time.
That may take some time.
You got 1 week.
Yeah, that's an even bump for me.
Because I can tell you, number one, what is number one on my list is the horror of Fang Rock. It's basically Doctor Who's interpretation of The Thing. And that episode was creepy as hell. Tom Baker. And sometimes, because I get that free BBC thing through the apps. So you got it on Pluto has it, and so does not Freevee. Tubi has free Doctor Who. And I'll go looking for that episode, man. It's 3, I think it's 3 episode story. But it is really good. The horror of Fang Rock. What did Bush say? The showrunners are mad that viewers don't like the yeah. I know, it's stupid. They're doing this thing right now. You're seeing it. They're drawing a line in the sand, going, "Well, if you don't like it, don't watch it." People aren't going to watch it.
Stupid.
And then they're going to turn right around and blame us because we didn't watch it. Fuck them.
They should make that stuff for the audience and not because they like making it. It's all wrong.
Exactly. And that's why, I want to talk about things that are good and why they're good and point out this is how things should be. The way this is made, this is what we should have. And this show that we're, talking about earlier, which is called Undateable, absolutely is the way sitcoms should be here in the US, but they're not. They'll get one and then they cancel it. They won't promote it. Because they want things to fall into that cookie cutter shape. What about Sean Connery? He would have made a good doctor.
Imagine Sean Connery as the Doctor.
Well, with better dentures, maybe.
Sean Connery with who would his companion be?
Bushy Galore, of course.
all that Dalek needs is a good smack. He just smacks everybody.
Whoops. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Number 2.
Those two had a great chemistry, and they brought an energy. Chris Eccleston is the one who really brought the energy to that show. And Billy Piper played off of it very well. But that energy for that show, that was all Chris Eccleston. Just being so fucking quirky and weird and energetic about it. And I fell in love with Doctor Who again. And I did enjoy that 1997 movie, but it pissed me off. They made it romantic, and they ended up bringing that into the series too, with David Tennant and Rose. And it's just like, I wish you guys hadn't done that. It's just a big mistake. And that is, you can follow Star Trek and you see where they screw up that lead to problems in the future. Enterprise, the show Enterprise, is what led to all the problems we have with J.J. Abrams and Alex Kurtzman. They started it. And it's just so tragic. And the same thing with Doctor Who. The problems with the BBC American produced movie. It was entertaining, but the love aspect of it, romantic aspect of it, was ridiculous, and they shouldn't have done that. And that's the thing that's so great about Doctor Who, is he can be around these amazing people, and he loves them, but he just loves them like children. And that was a great relationship that he had. And when they went too far with David Tennant and Rose, and then created that paradox where they have a separate universe where he can be with her as a split version of himself that doesn't have his abilities. And I thought, why did you have to do that? You didn't have to do that. You really didn't. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't like that. I wish they hadn't done that.
Yeah. My thing is, I do like River, his relationship with Riversong. I think, yeah, he's a Time Lord. He shouldn't fall in love with his companions, but with other Time Lords.
It's not what the Doctor is about. I'm agreeing with you. It's not what he's about.
I know.
I'm going to make a suggestion. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I like when that part in the show when Riversong, of course, she is his widow at that point, but he's just meeting her and he doesn't know who she is, but she knows all their story together. I like that, especially because she doesn't say anything to him.
I'm trying to find a good picture of this guy who I think would be perfect as.
Bush is in love with his own soup, apparently.
That sounds like Bush.
What is this? His purple hair and amazing people skill could save the galaxy. I don't know what is that, but I can have an idea.
All right, I'm getting ready to add this image because this is who I would love, because he's a big Doctor Who fan. He really is. Old school. And he would be wonderful. He's also close friends with Peter Capaldi. He was in a rock band with Peter Capaldi back in the 70s. Peter Capaldi did vocals and played guitar, and this guy played drums for him. And once it loads, I'm waiting for it to load. Turn off my camera to help it speed up. There we go.
Carter might get sloppy. Yeah. Bring it. Interesting.
Craig Ferguson would be great as the Doctor because he's quirky, he's Scottish, and he's funny as fuck. And he's also a very gifted actor. I think he's a very good actor. He produced a couple of films and is in a couple of films that are in my top 20 list. And one of them is where he created the character Doc Martin, which became a hit TV series. How did Kathleen Kennedy manage to make it to the top? Okay, look, she used the feminist card to do what she did. Absolutely, she did. There's no kidding. She has zero talent. And what happened with her is she made promises to George Lucas to get him to sign that contract, put her in charge, and then she stabbed him in the back. Bob Iger stabbed him in the back. Anybody that was in Kathleen's camp stabbed him in the back. And Bob Iger liked her, is why. Lucas trusted her, and Iger liked her. But the fact is, and I'm going to go to the past for this. Robert Evans, and I'm only 1 degree connection from him, too, because of Jim Woodward, his sister, Annie. Oh. Annie married, my best friend's sister married Robert Evans, the famous movie producer, movie mogul. And because he died while they were married, she inherited everything from him, which is why she doesn't talk to any of us anymore. Seriously, she doesn't have time for us. But Robert Evans was one of the most successful movie producers in the history of Hollywood. He produced The Godfather, for God's sakes. And they were constantly trying to fire him. Constantly. And this guy was pumping out hit after hit. And they're trying to fire him. There's no excuse for Kathleen Kennedy. There's zero excuse. The only reason she's still here is, one, she probably knows where a lot of bodies are buried, but two, she carries that feminist card. And she knows they're afraid to fire her.
Not to mention that Disney could see more embarrassing admit the mistake than making the mistake.
Connery might get slapped. Hunter J is a lore meme on Zach's channel. I don't know. Dead poopies. My favorite thing at the end of Zach's show is that fucking video song. I'm singing along to it. Zach knows what song I'm talking about.
And Zach responds.
Outstanding. Well, while I've got an audience here, I have 2 songs available. Which one should I play? Anima?
Sure.
Fires of Love or I Don't Burn? I think I Don't Burn, but what do you think, Anima?
Anima. I think she's away.
Anima? Are you here?
She may be wrangling the cats.
Right, play with cats. Which one do you think I should play? I Don't Burn.
Shoreline.
Or Fires of Love? I don't have Shoreline.
What? Oh, here in the okay. Yeah, dude, whichever. I like them both.
All right, here we go.
Don't make me choice.
Across the walls and on the floor, there is no shade within this sun. There's no escape for anyone, 'cause I don't burn in this flame. I don't burn in this flame. I don't burn in this flame. I don't burn in this flame.
Everybody went nuts in the chat. You should call the album "The Secret Backdoor."
Dude, I leave for a minute and people go nuts. What's going on here?
I played the song.
I heard.
This new album has got some new original stuff, but what I wanted to do was to go back to songs that I released back in 2004 on my first album and my second album that I released in 2007. And I wanted to revisit some of those songs because I was in a really dark place when I wrote them. And it's very, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're melodic and I do still enjoy them, but I wanted to do a whole new album that will feature some rock, where I take my music and convert it into something that's a little more accessible to some of my friends, like Mac, who's going to do the vocals. What you're hearing right now is the demo, which is synthesizers, shit like that, along with an AI voice. And it's designed specifically to sound like my buddy Mac, so he can better emulate what I'm doing when he hears it, because I can't explain it to him. You know, I'll try to explain stuff to him, but I can't sing. God gave me the ability to write.
And then he can
Gave me the ability. Hold on. God gave me the ability to write music, perform instruments, write lyrics, but I can't sing worth a crap. And I'm like, thanks, man. That was great. Good joke. But then I'm like, I've got a best friend who's a singer, and he sang on one of my songs, sang lead, sang backing vocals on one of my songs. And I'm like, I want to get him out there, but the only way I can do that is I got to make him rock. And so I took all this music and revamped it to be music that he can sing to. Some of it's got a metal edge to it, hard rock, and some of it's still gentle and soft. And if he can't sing them, I'm fine with that. I can hire a singer. Shit, you can get a Fiverr and 5 vocalists for under $100. You can get a guy with a great voice to sing your song the way you want it sung. It's ridiculous.
I told you he'll do fine with a lot of them. It's just that
I think he will, because I know his voice, but he's very timid about it. Because the last conversation we had, he goes, "Well, those 2 songs make me nervous," and I'm like, "Why? You're good." But
he'll be
I
fine.
sent you
It's
the
just
link,
songs where
Martin.
the voice needs to go up high. That's where he reaches his limit. But those songs he
Link
needs
for
to
what?
I sent the link there in the private chat for the song
the link
you
for
wanted.
what? Oh,
What you wanted.
Thank you.
So you can play it. You can play
Hold
it for
on,
the audience.
Before we
This
do
is
that, fuck you, Martin.
I'm just going with the flow of the chat.
I needed to address that. Sorry, Gary. I'm done.
I love Tranima. That's funny. I like that one. War Monkey is here, my good friend. And Dragon Ruse is here. He popped in too. I was kind of hoping Zax might be able to jump in with us, but he's still in the chat. At least.
I think he meant tomorrow. He's going to try to make tomorrow.
Tomorrow, definitely. You got to be there. We're going to be talking about a good movie.
We need Canadian presence there.
Okay, Gary.
But a lot of people forget. They think, oh, he's just, when they found out that I'm an artist. Because how long did I do this show? 3.5 years before people started to find out that I started talking about, I do art professionally. I worked on G.I. Joe. People are like, wait, what? And I still get it. It's from people. They'll go, wait, you do professional art for film and comics? Yeah. It's because I didn't talk about it for a long time. And I kept my music separate from what I do here. And I decided I'm tired of that. You know, I want people to know who I am and what I am. I'm very, you know, I take it seriously being a Renaissance man. The guy who's capable, I can sculpt, paint, I can draw, I can write, and I can score music, play music. I play 2 instruments and technically 3 instruments. And there you go. And I have a very musical mind. In fact, art for me is not an escape. I can't use it for anything other than making money. That's where I'm a prostitute. I'm a prostitute of art, you know. Like, what do you want me to draw? I'll draw anything on you. Anyway,
Wait. I'm downloading because I want to run the video the way you run it, not through the present.
You want to put it in here? You want to stick it in?
Oh my God.
Not for me. But
just doesn't present.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Gary invited us to his intimate place. Awesome said. But you know, because all of us, there are so many of us who are very gifted and talented in this group, you know, and I felt that I should probably talk a little bit about what I can do. Yeah, fuck you, Awesome One. I know you know what I do. Don't feign surprise when it's you phony. You're a phony. You're a big fat phony. Play a mean armpit. I used to be able to do that. You know what is weird? I got this gap, right? See it? And I cannot whistle through it. I don't know how. I've had this thing my whole life, but I can do it accidentally. I'll be doing something, then you hear as I'm talking. I'll go.
Like the words you say, yeah. I catch it every time, and you hate it. It's funny.
It makes you self-conscious.
Here we go. The song is called Shoreline, and people in the chat and in the audience, please enjoy.
We walk down to that place, past the docks and the railroad tracks, where sea salt air burns the lips, among boats with broken backs. Haunted, some would say, though we never really talk about it, we'll save it for another day. We're just boys, no one would believe. We must hide away just what we've seen. We have to put it away and save it for another day. Her flesh and dress once new was class to be a young man's bride. From a loving family, she was the object of a madman's eye. They say she ran away, though we all know that's not true. We were saving for another day. We're just boys, no one would believe. We must hide away what we've seen. We have to put it away and save it for another day. She ran away, though we all know that's not true. We would save it for another day. We're just boys, no one would believe. We must hide away what we've seen. We have to put it away and save it for another day. That place, they say, for the young sailor that she would wed. But if the fiend couldn't have her now, she'd trade her dowry for his fishing net. He rests beneath the full white moon, though no one ever talks about it. We'll save it for another day. We're just boys, no one would believe. We must hide away what we've seen. We have to put it away and save it for another day. with a secret we cannot hide. It lies there in the waiting sand, pushed up by the eastern tide. A child's dream of grimy hell, though we never really talk about it. We have saved it for another day. They tell us how they found him, hanging by a fishing net, through sets of tracks to the old man's shack, to going in and uncount back. He hangs beneath the hovering moon, though we never really talk about it. They'll save it for another day. We're just boys no one would believe. We must hide away what we see. We have to put it away and save it for another day.
So, yeah, there you go. Now, what's really cool is I wrote that song, and Mac was there with me when I wrote it. And he told me 2 nights ago that this is his favorite song, and he's really, really looking forward to doing the album version. And we'll probably record part of this at home and part of it in a studio. Likely, I'm going to go to Plank Studios here in town for the vocals and have my buddy Max sing there, because Plank Studio is where I recorded like all is lost. He's a really good engineer. Thank you, Bush. I'm pretty proud of that one. It is probably one of the best written songs I've ever written, and it's a ghost story. It's part of a trilogy of stories. I don't know if I'm going to do all 3, but this one is my preferred story. It's because if you pay attention to it, a lot of people don't catch it. It's a ghost story that when they go to look, and they're with the police, is really what's going on. We wrote the whole story out. Mac and I gave him my synopsis, and he wrote a story off of this song. And it's so creepy, and these cops with lanterns go up to this old fisherman's shack, and they look, and there's 2 sets of tracks. That means 2 people walked into that shack, and there's no other tracks, and they just go into this shack, and he's dead, hanging by the neck in his fishing net. And you're wondering, like, what happened? Was the ghost of the girl had a revenge on him? What was it? In the end, you find out that in the other song, that it's the ghost of his wife who was murdered, who walked him to help him purge himself of this evil spirit that's trapped him in this life. And it's the men that killed her have become one source of bad energy, and they're trapped inside his brain, making him do bad things, and he wants to get rid of them. And sadly, when he does, they are transferred back into the boat, and the next story involves that captain, and he has to scuttle the boat to finally destroy these spirits because they've taken over the crew. I don't know. I like ghost stories. I also refer to it as a murder ballad because it's about a murder. The song is about a murder of a girl by this old man. Thanks, Zach. No, look, I know you. I appreciate that, buddy. I appreciate that. And I do have a rule, like Bankus, who's my other best friend here in town. He eventually, I confronted him with a rule, because he would walk up, he would take my songs right after I record them, and he would twist the words around to be fucked up and funny. And I'd just be so annoyed with him at the same time laughing. And finally I said to him, I said, look, Bank, you can make fun of my songs all you want to, but before you do, you have to give me one solid compliment to the song at hand. Then you can do whatever the fuck you want. And he sticks by that rule to this day. And in fact, he's the one who played guitar on the original version of, looking for it right now, Down to This.
Goes one demon.
Yeah, where you poke him. Some places are soft and some are pliable.
Oh my god.
Stop what you're doing. This is Rasmus French. Welcome, Rasmus French. So do you want to do one more song before we go?
Okay.
Down to this, or what do you want to do? Phantom Love?
Whatever. Surprise me.
Here you go. Hold on, let me see. I think this is the hard rock song right here. I do like this one a lot. So does Mac. But Mac's favorite song, he's made it clear, is Shoreline, because he's connected to it. Also, Mac is the one who named my moniker, my what do you call that? Nom de plume, Cohen's Ghost.
Oh.
Because in the Army, my nickname in the Army was Ghost because I was so fucking quiet and startled people. I'd just be standing there suddenly, and they're like, fuck, how do you do that? You're so big. I don't know. Just quiet, I guess. And so he took that old nickname and he mixed it with Leonard Cohen, because a bunch of critics had reviewed my music and they all said, your lyrics just incredible and your presentation. And that, I got criticism because my voice is very limited. I knew that. But they said, you really carry it well, and your music is very emotive. It really draws you into the story. But that's all I was a really good storyteller, because it's practically almost spoken word. And I actually wanted to do music. And when I started writing this new album, I got frustrated because every single song I was writing was beyond my ability. And it was frustrating me that I couldn't sing these songs. I wrote one for my daughter and I can't sing it. This beautiful song about a father and daughter. And I can't. And she knows it's about her. And she wants to sing it. And I said, no, this is a song written from a man's perspective, a dad's perspective. No. It needs to be sung by a guy. And if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be her uncle, Mac. And so, because he knows how I feel about my daughter. He was there, helped me raise her. So, did you get the link, Matt?
Yes. I had a little problem downloading it, but now I am uploading it.
Excellent.
Let's hope.
And by the way, that's a new song for our intro too. I'll play that real quick again.
This is how it is today on Pop Culture Minefield.
Tell me it's not fucking awesome.
Yes, it is. It's very poppy. Jesus, why is it taking so long?
Did anybody have any thoughts of Craig Ferguson, by the way? My recommendation of Craig Ferguson is Doctor Who, because I think he'd be perfect.
I don't. I just wanted to say you made that intro music so you can bounce while off camera because you're doing that.
That's so true.
You guys
so
don't
limited.
see that. We see it.
Right. I'm sorry. I have to go because I have to add some video on my YouTube channel. Please share your follow me on Twitter and share your channel with me, please. I'll give you my Twitter handle, Gary. Now, that's my personal, and this is our channel. And you can.
Okay.
I really hate this minefield. Our name is Pop Call Minefield because they wouldn't allow us the extra letters for our name, full name. So,
okay. I have
Minefield. Hold on, I'm trying to explain something real quick. Hold on.
It's Twitter. What you want.
I want you to follow me and make sure to share your channel with me, please. I appreciate it, man. Any of you that have your own personal channels, please share with me. Follow me. I follow you back, and I will check out your channel and subscribe.
It's on the
We
private
all
chat.
We all will
What
follow
is?
your channels. And also, when you need
Lee-
to stop being weird.
Lee's channel, I already got it for you. It's on the private chat.
Okay. Did you follow it for Pop Culture?
Did I what?
Okay, I just subscribed for us.
Mm.
So Lee, I just subbed to you on YouTube. And I selected all. Rasmus, thank you very much. Again, I want to point out that Clobbery's death is just really rough, man. This is a person who I just finally started getting to know, and he fucking is gone. And I really wanted to lean on some of these guys. I do with Loki, because everybody will tell you I wasn't doing other people's shows. I just did my shows. It's because I'm an introvert. But this year I pushed, and I'm out there. I'm on Zach's show on Wednesdays when I'm able to. I've been on deadlines this week, so I wasn't able to. But I do his show. I do Loki's show. I jump on with Snow. I jump on with Clobby. And just these guys are great people, great friends. And I'm going to miss Clobby. I am. That guy is just fucking awesome. And I love doing what we do here. There's a hate thing I have there. There's a hate element, but that's in everything. I haven't had a single girlfriend that I didn't also hate. Nothing.
I don't know.
Anima's dead silent. She's not there when I make the comment like that.
I am trying to answer Zach's question because nobody cares about stuff.
I just said that I haven't had a girlfriend that I also didn't hate, and you have no response to that.
Because, like I said, Zach's asked the question in chat a while back, and nobody cares. So I'm trying to answer that.
I'm doing typing right now. Okay, sorry.
Whatever. No one cares.
Whatever. I love that Austrian accent with the word "whatever" is sexy. It is. So what is it? What is this? I drag Gary on. I love going on Zach's show. I like hanging out with him. He's always been a lot of fun. Yeah, oh God, there we go. You suck.
I give up
Gary
typing,
Anima.
Bush. I give up. I've had a long fucking day. Fridays are like a 12, 13-hour day for me with work at the show. So
I think it's like, what did I walk into?
Yeah, poor Vickman's girl. Also,
sorry,
what did you say?
Vickman's
Anima gonna sing "Sweet Home Alabama" for the.
I told him he needs to stop being weird.
Look, Anima is a trained singer.
You can't even pronounce my name. Come, I'm not a trained singer. Stop that.
I thought you were.
No, I just come from music background. All my family are musicians, so everybody sings, but I'm not trained.
And you sing opera?
No, I don't know where you get that from.
Because you worked in opera, so I thought
I
maybe you
did.
sang in opera.
No, I sang musical with some of my sisters for fun.
Well, I know you've told me about singing, but you have never sung for me or played anything of you singing ever.
Yeah,
and you know what? I don't
learned it
push.
yet.
I don't push because that is something that you have to want to do. You have to want to do it. And I'm very funny about that. I like sharing with you.
No, you know, I'm funny. My dad used to be my teacher when I played the oboe, and his approach was, you can't play a phrase, sing it. And whenever he would tell me sing it, I lost my voice. I couldn't. So that's nothing you can force out of me. I like singing, but I need to be in the right mood and in the right situation.
Because I know Zoe is like that too. And I've
There you
recorded her and posted it on Facebook where she doesn't know I'm recording. She's walking around just, I loved that.
Oh,
having
that is
in
so
my house.
cute.
She's
You
just
played
walking
that
around
to
the
me.
house
That's so
singing.
cute.
And I caught her. She was singing 2 of my songs one day. I caught her singing like "Building on the Silence" she loves because she knows that song's about her and her kidnapping.
Oh, that's a great one.
And she loves it. She wants to sing on the new recording. At least do some backing vocals or something. Sing, Anima, sing.
Stop
You need
it,
to do
Chad,
it-
please.
You need to do it with a proper Austrian accent. You
Do
know, you
it.
need to
Do it
sound
now.
commanding. Do it now. Get to the chopper.
Yeah. Tell me in Arnold.
Let's see. I will let Lee know Pop Culture when I see him on Twitter. Thanks. You bet, man. It's great meeting you guys today. It's really wonderful. Well, we're going to probably wrap it up now, but I would like to wrap it up with at least one more song before we say bye. So are you gonna play that now, Martin? Is it ready?
Yes.
You probably
Yes, it's right. Yes, it is. Oh.
You gonna play it? Let's go.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Breaking down this lonely soul, taking up our collective, tearing up resolutions and all that's protected. Walking down the lonely road, signs posted in the distance. You better get down off this fence before you get arrested. 'Cause I'm down to this. I'm so down to this. I'm so down to this. Trapped out in the cold, like a child left in a basket. Wipe away the tears, it's luck that we even lasted. Walking down the lonely road, signs posted in the distance. You better get down off this fast before you get arrested. 'Cause I'm down to this. I'm so down to this. I'm so down to this. Tear down these bodies, tear them down until we're all free. Break down the silence, break it down so we all can see. The ugly thoughts, leave those words behind. Remove the best, let's see what we will find. Break down the walls to see what was true. Break it all down until there's only me and you. Only me and you. Taking it down to this. Only me and you. Taking it down to this. Taking it down to this. Taking it down to this. Breaking down this lonely soul, taking up our collective, tearing up resolutions and all that's protected. Walking down the lonely road, signs posted in the distance. You better get down off this fence before you get arrested. 'Cause I'm down to this. I'm so down to this. I'm so down to this. Tear down these vines, tear them down until we're all free. Break down the silence, break it down so we all can see. The ugly thoughts, leave those words behind. Remove the best, let's see what we will find. Break down the walls to see what was true. Break it all down until there's only me and you. Tear down these bodies, tear them down until we're all free. Break down the silence, break it down so we all can see. The ugly thoughts, leave those words behind. Remove the best, let's see what we will find. Break down the walls to see what was true. Break it all down until there's only me and you. Only me and you. Taking it down to this.
Yeah, that was written when I was in the middle of my custody battle, and that's what that song is really about. But Mac and I have agreed that he wants to change from down to this, being ready for the fight, down for this. And I'm like, I really like that. So he, at certain parts, it'll still say two, But most of the song when he's refraining, it'll be, "I am so down for this."
When it's
And
really about the fight, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, because there I was talking about the, being prepared. Down for this, I think, is a better way of saying it. I agree with Mac on that. So when he performs it, it's going to have that change. Later, Alan. Have a good one. Donnie, see you later, buddy. Go Mavericks. Go Oilers. So, all right. I hope everybody enjoyed that. That was fun. It was a fun show. I guess we're going to get the hell out of here now. So, everybody have a good Friday. Have a safe Friday. Don't forget, you got Friday Night Frolics coming up tonight with Doomcock, as well as, of course, the other Tights show. Tights. Friday Night Tights. I'm more into the Doomcock show. I love his show.
Is Loki streaming tonight?
That's much later. I may join him, just so you know. If I can get a nap in or just feel like I'm not brain dead, I'll join him. The problem is the long days like today. By that time he goes on, and I love hanging out with him and the gang. Arwen, I just love fucking with Arwen. She is so much fun to fuck with.
She is so great.
Oh Lord, I got the vapors.
I love how she can.
It's funny. I've been messing with her for
talk at the same
2
time.
years.
How is she doing that? That's amazing. But yeah, talk to me about being brain dead doing a show. It's 10 p.m. when we start this one.
Would you like a little cheese with that wine?
No, fuck you.
Okay, before we go, we will play one last thing here, and
oh my,
if you want to, Anima knows the answer to this, but we'll leave it up to you guys. You have to decide if I'm telling the truth or not. All right, would I lie to you? And the question is, where's it at? It took me 15 years to win an argument with my father. 15 years. Is it true? Or am I lying? So let's see your answers, see your responses.
I say true.
I can give you information if you want, if you need that. 1982. Okay. It was June of 1982. And I had bought the Marvel comic adaptation of Blade Runner. And my dad picked it up and was flipping through it. And he got to a part where Deckard in the apartment, this is based on the original script, not the movie. So there's stuff in the book that's different than the movie. So Deckard's in the apartment and he says, I looked down in front of the dresser and there was a fleck of something that I picked up and put into my wallet to look at later. And my dad said, or a couple of flecks that he picked up. My dad said, there is no such word. Now, my father is a very intelligent, college-educated man, just one of the greatest teachers I ever had, my dad. But I knew he was wrong, but I had no proof. And we argued, and I said, there are flecks. Flex is a real word. Fleck and flex is a real word. He pulled out an old, and I'm talking like late 1800s, early 1900s dictionary. It's like, it's leather bound. It weighed like 100 pounds. This thing was so big. And it was sat in our front room, and he'd make me read a word every day. And so he picks this up and he's flipping through it. And he says, it's not in there. And I'm like, I have no argument. And I just sat there frustrated with my dad. And I said, I know that word exists. Bye, Aaron. And so 15 years later, I'm in college on the GI Bill. And he show up at his apartment with 2 books. One is a literature book, and the other one is a medical book. And the specific passages that I bookmarked for him involved different things where the word fleck was used. And in the medical book, primarily, is about those little spots you'll see in people's eyes every once in a while in the iris. They'll have, and it's referred to as flecks of color. And so I said, I handed it to my dad. They were bookmarked and highlighted in yellow. I said, would you go to the page and read aloud? My dad did not read aloud. He just opened the book, read it quietly, shut it, went to the other book, shut it, took both books and threw them back at me, threw them. And he said, fuck you. And I started jumping up and down in his living room, quietly whispering, I win, I win. It pissed him off. Took me 15 years to prove it true. So, is that a bullshit story or is that a true story? So, Penny's already said. Penny says true. Now you what?
Yeah, I thought it was true. Now I know it's false.
Vinkman's girl, what did you think?
How so, Martin?
Because he wouldn't have said quietly, I won't. He
wouldn't have been quiet.
I did that for a reason. My dad lived. Hold on. My dad lived in a retirement. Hold on. He lives in a retirement community when he was alive. And I had to be quiet. So I jumped up and down quietly, going, I win.
No, you were afraid of the crutches that he could throw at you.
No, he has.
He did.
He has. I did not expect it that one time. I was a teenager and I was smart. I was being a smart ass with him. He's chasing me. It's a circle between the kitchen, hallway, and the dining room. Back into the kitchen, hallway, dining room. And he's chasing me. And it got to a point where I was almost caught up with him. And then I said, hey, Dad, I'm almost catching you. I think I need to slow down for you. And I started mimicking him like I was on crutches as I'm going. And as I'm doing that, he fucking threw one of the crutches at me in between my feet. I heard it clap and I went, oh, fuck. And I just went down straight to the floor, smacked hard on the floor. And it was like, oh, fuck. And then but nothing came out of my mouth yet. I was just like, oh. And then I looked up and he was on me. He was right on me. And I'm like, how did that old fucker move that fast?
You were moving that slow.
I made this sound. This is the exact sound I made. This is the sound I went, ah! And I jumped up, rolled.
It's true.
I jumped up into a tuck roll, rolled, and then got up and ran out of that apartment. And I wouldn't come back until his best friend, who I'm still close to this day, Mr. Cody, Ray Cody. He wants me to call him Ray, and I said, no, man, I've known you my whole life. You've always been Mr. Cody. And I've known him since a little boy. And he came over there and he calmed things down. He goes, now, Gary, you can't kill him. Because I'm junior. He's telling my dad, Gary, you can't kill him. He goes, that little son of a bitch. Oh, my God. And because he threw a crush, I just did not see him close in that distance that quickly. I hit the ground, looked up, and he was like right there. And it was sheer horror. Like, ah. Oh my God, that was a funny. I love telling these stories about my dad. But anyway, it is true. It's totally true. And it took me 15 years to beat him. I had to be in college and find the word fleck being used. If I'd really wanted to, I probably could have proved it before, but it was when I was in college and I was reading in the medical book flex, and I immediately thought of my dad. And so I highlighted it, and then I went to look at my literature book if there was any mention of it, and I looked in the glossary, and there is, and I found it, and I'm like, boom, there you go, Dad. Fucking word exists. Fuck you.
I'm so surprised you never came about the expression flecks of dust, because I did when I was a teenager and learning English. So
well, it's a German word, fleck, and
it
kind of surprised me because my dad spoke fluent German. So there you go. But anyway, yeah, Penny heard that story
Penny.
before. She knows that story.
Not surprised.
I think Penny reads my post too. So that's probably where
she's not on the socials though. Penny isn't.
Because this is the anniversary. This month is the anniversary of that story.
Gary, Penny isn't on the socials. Penny is just on email on YouTube.
So I just told her before. Okay. But it is funny. It is funny. I don't think I told the Flex story. I didn't tell the Flex story before, but I did tell the chasing me in the kitchen story.
Oh, yes.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's a favorite of mine because that really scared the shit out of me.
Serves you right for making fun of a man on his crutches.
Damn right.
Yeah, the story of the argument is on Twitter and on Facebook, and it's funny. It's just these are little anecdotes, these little moments in my life with my dad or with other people that I just found really funny. Like, you know, I'm not going to explain too much on this, but that moment after I attempted my first three-way, and I got up and walked out because I was drunk when it started, but I sobered up in the middle of it. I walked up and walked out of the room, and I sat down. I got dressed, washed up, dressed, sat there, and Jim came back, and he's like, he's wanting to know if you're coming back. Nah, I'm done. And he goes, "You okay?" And I said, and I turned and looked at him, and I said these exact words: "I grew up with you, man. We've been friends since we were little kids. I swear to God, if I ever see your dick go in and out of another human being, it'll be too soon." And then I went back to watching TV, and he just walked away laughing. You know, because it's funny, but I was being brutally honest with him. I don't ever want to have that happen again. That is bizarre. And that is why I don't go drinking with friends. I drink at home. When I'm at the bar, I'm always a designated driver. Always. Always. I will have one beer for like every 2 hours. The rest of the time, it's Coca-Cola. Coke Zero. So, but hey, some of my stories are fucked up. I'm still going to tell them.
Some? Glad we agree, Martin.
TMI doesn't bother me because I'm not embarrassed by anything. In my
life. I hadn't noticed.
I find that shit funny.
Yeah.
I find it funny. And sharing it is hilarious. Sometimes I like to tell the stories just to see the reaction on another person's face when I get to
yeah, like you did with Culture Casino. You blew his mind with your fucked up stories.
Yeah, he did not expect that. That was funny.
He was like, wait, what? And Gary was like, yeah, that's for another time.
Yeah, I'm moving on. And he's like, wait, no. Well, yeah. What?
You need to go back.
And then he wanted me to tell the kitten story. And I refused. Oh. I said, next time. I told him next time I come on.
The kitty story.
I need to hop on his show again. I really do, because that was a lot of fun.
You owe him the kitty story.
The kitty story that ends in the emergency room.
Wait, I'm sorry. I was reading what somebody said. What about the emergency room?
Hold on. Stop it. We're going to be live tomorrow, same time. 3 p.m.
Now, tomorrow
Central.
is a little different. Friday's a little more free verse. Saturday is when we talk about a film. Movies, and what movie are we talking about tomorrow?
Strange Brew.
Oh my God, Strange Brew.
How could you forget that? How could you forget that you're
It is a comedy parody of Hamlet. Kind of. It's in there. It is in there. There's a lot of Hamlet in there. I found it funny as hell. It's so goofy. It is Bob and Doug McKenzie. And if you've ever seen them on SCTV, they were a fan favorite back in the 80s, man. Late 70s, early 80s. Everybody was talking about them in school, man. And all of us were doing impressions of Bob and Doug. Take off, you hoser. And so this movie is the movie we've been waiting for because I'd just gotten out of high school. And they announced the movie. And I'm like, oh my God. And then it's almost a year later, the movie came out. And it was so fucking good. May I ask Pop Culture with you? So tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. That's 4 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock Mountain, 1 o'clock. I said Pacific.
No, you got that
Eastern
wrong.
4 o'clock Eastern. No, I've got it right. I just said the wrong thing.
Time wrong.
I just said that. I was correcting myself. God, let me finish. So it is 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Mountain, and 1 o'clock Pacific time. We go live. And if you want to join us, want to be a part of the discussion, not just in the chat, let me know. We'll have you pop in. And where do you get the papers to adopt me as the cool uncle? I have a lot of nieces, and it's so funny. They would try to call me by my name, and they still laugh about it that I would say this to them. I said, I am Uncle Gary. I worked hard for that title. Like you actually did something. And I love it. My niece Lori in particular, you've never heard anybody say uncle so loving until you hear my niece Lori say it to me, because she is such a sweetheart. And she was almost like my little sister, because I was still a little kid when she was born. My sister had her when she was 18, and I was like 8 or 9. And so I'd have this little girl follow me around all the time. She was my best little buddy. And we'd watch the Muppets together, cartoons. It was great. She was my little sister, and I love her. To this day, she's still, and they know it. She's my favorite niece. She'll always be my favorite. But I've got some great nieces and nephews. Some of them freak me out. Like, no, I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it today. It's crazy shit having nieces and nephews.
By the way,
my nephews are very, very polite. What?
Anima hasn't seen this video. You have. She doesn't, but I think she's gonna love this.
I'm scared.
You take a hell of a long time to say goodbye.
Yes, we go 32 minutes over. 32 minutes over. I don't know. I don't know why. I just enjoy hanging out with you guys and doing it.
Yeah, but dude, I'm almost doing Keith here and falling asleep sitting on my laptop. So let's get out of here. Please.
Don't sit on your laptop. You will broke it.
I know that I, Jefe, do not have your superior intellect and education. But could it be that once again, you are angry at something else and are looking to take it out on me?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's the video I'm going out on there.
Oh.
Hey guys, don't forget to click that like, subscribe, and notification button. We appreciate you watching the show. Now, back to it. We're out of here, guys. Have a good Friday.